All right, hey folks, welcome back. It's me, Mr. Nuclear Monster, back again. I'm very orange for some reason. That does not match my typical skin tone, but that's okay. Still weird situation in a minute here, but if I do this, no, if that's not helping either. Okay, well, that's fine. Today is the Sunday Leaderboard Crunch. You can also call me Jack, by the way, if I didn't say that. Thank you as always to Peter Silk for their wonderful music that we're listening to right now. It's custom Nuclear Monster theme. Thank you to Kyster as well for the rain sound we're about to listen to in a minute. I'm learning German using Duolingo and Memrise. And yeah, today's going to be day 769 once I get a lesson done. I've only got 20 minutes to try to stay on this side of the demotion zone. So let's see if I can do that right now. And yeah, here's the rain. Oh boy, this is gonna be a close one. Hopefully the folks in the demotion zone already are committed to staying there. I'm not convinced about that. Usually you see people get a bunch of points right at the last minute. Got some break stuff to do. And so yeah, I'm gonna try to get as much as I can right now and then try to stay as high as I can.
Und ich frühstücken mit meiner Mama.
It's a little loud. Let's try that again.
Meine Freundin und ich frühstücken mit meiner Mama.
Okay, that's a bit quieter. But yeah, I'm hoping to try to get a bit of work done on the leaderboard for next week, which starts in about 20 minutes. Meine Freundin und ich frühstücken mit meiner Mama. My girlfriend and I are eating breakfast with my mom. Meine Freundin und ich frühstücken mit meiner Mama. With whom are you going to the beach? Mit wem gehst du zum Strand? Mit wem gehst du zum Strand? With whom are you going to the beach?
Mein Hund will spielen, aber ich will Fernsehen.
Oh boy, this whole thing. No, green screen. No, don't show the mess. Mein Hund will spielen, aber ich will Fernsehen. Okay, so my dog wants to play, but I want to watch TV. Mein Hund will spielen, aber ich will Fernsehen. With whom would you like to grill at the park? Mit wem möchtest du im Park grillen? Mit wem möchtest du im Park grillen? With whom would you like to grill at the park? The better I get at this, the stranger I find German to be. I mean, just like this. I don't even know how to conjugate these sentences anymore. It's just like sometimes it's by I just know, and that's probably good for learning, but also bad because it's bizarre to me the way these sentences are structured. Like, it is really with whom would you like in the park to be grilling, which is a odd sentence construction.
Mit wem gehst du zum Strand?
With whom would you like go to the beach? Mit wem? What? Oh, with whom are you going to the beach? There was no would you like. That was my mistake. Mit wem gehst du zum Strand is with whom are you going to the beach? It's not asking who would you like to go to the beach with. I want to watch TV with my mom. Ich will mit meiner Mama Fernsehen. To watch TV with my mom. Ich will mit meiner Mama Fernsehen.
Ich will morgen mit meiner Mama frühstücken.
I want to eat breakfast with my mom tomorrow. Ich will morgen mit meiner Mama frühstücken. I want to sleep in every day during the break. Ich will jedes Tag in die Bayern ausschlafen. No, in den Feiern. Ich will jeden Tag, I wrote jedes Tag. Ich will jeden Tag in den Feiern ausschlafen.
Mit wem gehst du zum Strand?
With whom are you going to the beach? Mit wem gehst du zum Strand? I want to sleep in every day during the break. Ich will jeden Tag in den Feiern ausschlafen. Du mehr S's. Ausschlafen. Ich will jeden Tag in den Feiern ausschlafen. I want to sleep in every day during the break.
Gehst du morgen mit deiner Oma in die Kirche?
Gehst du morgen mit deiner Oma in die Kirche? Are you going to church tomorrow with your grandma? Gehst du morgen mit deiner Oma in die Kirche? My mom wants to sleep in until noon. Meine Mama will bis Mittag ausschlafen. Meine Mama will bis Mittag ausschlafen. My mom wants to sleep in until noon.
Ich will jeden Tag in den Ferien ausschlafen.
I want to sleep in every day during the break. Ich will jeden Tag in den Ferien ausschlafen. It's just the reverse of what we had before. We can't watch TV, we are camping. Wir können nicht fernsehen. Wir campen.
Wir frühstücken ein bisschen später in den Ferien.
We are eating breakfast a little later during the break. Wir frühstücken ein bisschen später in den Ferien. Max and Moritz, why are you eating breakfast with my grandma? Das ist Max und Moritz. Warum frühstückt ihr mit meiner Oma? The F in Frühstück should be uppercase. Max und Moritz, warum frühstückt ihr mit meiner Oma?
Mit wem möchtest du im Park grillen?
With whom would you like to grill in the park? Mit wem möchtest du im Park grillen? Are you going to the church with your grandma tomorrow? Gehst du mit deiner Oma in die Kirche? Gehst du morgen mit deiner Oma in die Kirche? Are you going to the church with your grandma tomorrow? I forgot the tomorrow part. Okay. 20 XP is good.
Mein Hund will spielen, aber ich will
My
Fernsehen.
dog wants to play, but I want to watch TV. Mein Hund will spielen, aber ich will Fernsehen. With whom are you going to the beach? Mit wem gehst du zum Strand?
Max und Moritz, warum frühstückt ihr mit meiner Oma?
Max and Moritz, why are you eating breakfast with my grandma? I want to watch TV with my mom. Ich will mit meiner Mama Fernsehen.
Wir können nicht Fernsehen. Wir campen.
We cannot watch TV. We are camping. Wir können nicht Fernsehen, wir campen. My cat wants to sleep in every day. She's lazy. Meine Katze will jeden Tag ausschlafen. Sie ist faul. Ja. Meine Katze will jeden Tag ausschlafen. Sie ist faul. My cat wants to sleep in every day. She is lazy. I mean, what responsibilities does a kitty cat have? So I'm not sure how you can call the cat lazy. The cat has no responsibilities. If you gave a cat responsibilities, then you're irresponsible, honestly. Meine Katze will jeden Tag ausschlafen. Sie ist faul.
Mit wem gehst du ins Kino?
With who are you going to the movies? Mit wem gehst du ins Kino? My mom wants to sleep in until noon. Meine Mama will bis Mittag ausschlafen.
Ich will morgen mit meiner Mama frühstücken.
Ich will morgen mit meiner Mama frühstücken. I want to eat breakfast tomorrow with... Oh, I missed the W. Tomorrow with my mom. Ich will morgen mit meiner Mama frühstücken. We can't sleep in. We have to work early. Wir können nicht ausschlafen. Wir müssen früh arbeiten. Früh arbeiten oder arbeiten früh? Not sure. Hello, cheese. Das Leaderboard crunchen. Wir müssen früh arbeiten. I was right. Ich war richtig. Is that how you say I was right? Am I just making that up? I was right. Ich lag richtig?
Ich lag richtig.
What? Ich hatte recht?
Ich hatte recht.
Wow, okay. Doesn't, so is Emperor Palpatine? Emperor Palpatine, I was right. Doesn't he say I was right at some point in Star Wars? I swear he says that. I also misspelled Emperor. Oh, I thought there was some clip where he says, I was right. This soundboard is complete nonsense, right?
I was right.
Oh, he does say it.
I was right.
I have no idea what part that's from.
I was right.
That's Palpatine, I guess. I don't know.
I was right.
Sounds a little bit like him. Probably from one of the newer prequel movies. Which I say are newer, but those are like 20-something years old now. Wir können nicht ausschlafen, wir müssen früh arbeiten. We can't sleep in, we have to work early.
Gehst du morgen mit deiner Oma in die Kirche?
Gehst du morgen mit deiner Oma in die Kirche? Oh, are you going to church? Is that uppercase? No, it's lowercase. Church tomorrow with your grandma. Are you going to church tomorrow with your grandma? Gehst du morgen mit deiner Oma in die Kirche? My mom would like to watch TV this evening. Meine Mama will heute Abend Fernsehen. Mokta would like. Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right. The prequels, when he was just Chancellor, I guess? I don't know. I don't remember all the details. The last time I saw those movies was in the theater. But I'm pretty sure that's from...
I was right.
I'm pretty sure that's from from one of the movies. Meine Mama möchte heute Abend Fernsehen.
Ich bin müde, ich will morgen ausschlafen.
I'm tired. I want to sleep in tomorrow. I have to fight myself because every time I see will, I think will, as in I will sleep in tomorrow, but it's I want to. It could be from the animated shows too, though. I could be wrong. I'm tired. I want to sleep in tomorrow. Ich bin müde. Ich will morgen ausschlafen. You're playing basketball with your girlfriend. Spielst du mit deiner Freundin Basketball? Spielst du mit deiner Freundin Basketball? You're playing basketball with your girlfriend.
Mit wem möchtest du im Park grillen?
With whom would you like to grill in the park? Mit wem möchtest du im Park grillen? Max and Moritz, why are you eating breakfast with my grandma? Max und Moritz. Warum? Frühstückt ihr, and the F should be uppercase and frühstückt. Warum frühstückt ihr mit meiner Oma? Max and Moritz, why are you eating breakfast with my grandma? Max and Moritz, warum frühstückt ihr mit meiner Oma? How are you doing today, Cheese? Are you grilling? Are you going to church with your grandma tomorrow? I'm not. Are you going to church with your grandma tomorrow? Gehst du morgen mit deiner Oma in die Kirche? Gehst du morgen mit deiner Oma in die Kirche? Are you going to church with your grandma tomorrow? My mom would like to watch TV this evening. Meine Mama will... Oh, Mota would like to. Right, sorry, I got wrong before. Mota. Meine Mama... Is it Mota? Mota heute Abend Fernsehen. Yeah, meine Mama möchte heute Abend Fernsehen. My mom would like to watch TV this evening. Oh, no worries. I was just asking how you're doing today. Hoping you have a good day. Hope it's not too cold there. I actually turned the AC on for right now because it's kind of hot here. Not super hot though. But I didn't want the the window blinds flapping around and slamming against each other that they make this horrible noise.
Ich muss lernen, aber ich will die Zeitung lesen.
There was ice outside. Oh my gosh. These days, your island's gonna just like float around the Pacific Ocean. Muss lernen, aber ich will die Zeitung lesen. I have to study, but I will read. But I keep writing will when will is I want to. I want to read the newspaper. I have to study, but I want to read the newspaper. Ich muss lernen, aber ich will die Zeitung lesen. My brother is nice. He is really nice. He cooks for me. Mein Bruder ist wirklich lieb. Kocht für mich. Oh, no on the O in kocht. Mein Bruder ist wirklich lieb. Kocht für mich.
Ich lese mit meiner Nichte ein Kinderbuch.
I'm reading a children's book with my niece. Ich lese mit meiner Nichte ein Kinderbuch. Wow. Do you want to read a children's book with your niece? Möchtest. Is this want to? No, will. Willst du mit deiner Nichte ein Kinderbuch lesen? Yeah, willst du mit deiner Nichte ein Kinderbuch lesen? Do you want to read a children's book with your niece?
Ich will mit meinem Papa eine Komödie sehen.
I want to see a comedy with my dad. Ich will mit meinem Papa eine Komödie sehen. I don't want a popcorn. I have a toothache. Ich will kein Popcorn. Ich habe Zahnschmerzen. Zahnschmerzen, also toothache. Ich will kein Popcorn. Ich habe Zahnschmerzen.
Sei lieb und mach Popcorn für uns, bitte.
Be nice and make popcorn for us, please. Which is a weird thing to say. Sei lieb und mach Popcorn for us bitte. I sometimes read a children's book with my mom. Ich lese manchmal ein Kinderbuch mit meiner Mama. I sometimes read a children's book with my mom.
Mein Opa und ich trinken Kaffee und lesen die Zeitung.
My grandpa and I are drinking coffee and reading newspaper. Mein Opa und ich trinken Kaffee und lesen die Zeitung. I like to read the newspaper, but only during the break. Ich lese gern die Zeitung. Aber nur in den Ferien. Ich lese gern die Zeitung, aber nur in den Ferien. I like to read the newspaper, but only during the break.
Kannst du mit meiner Schwester ein Kinderbuch lesen?
Can you read a children's book with my sister? Kannst du mit meiner Schwester ein Kinderbuch lesen? I want to watch a comedy with my dad. Ich will mit meiner Papa eine Komödie. Komödie? Oh, no, Komödie. I can't remember how that is or where the mic goes. Eine Komödie sehen. No, meinem Papa. Ich will mit meinem Papa eine Komödie sehen. I want to watch a comedy with my dad.
Meine Oma ist lieb, sie backt für mich Kekse.
My grandma is nice. She bakes cookies for me. Meine Oma ist lieb. Sie backt für mich Kekse. My niece and I like to read together. Meine Nichte und ich lesen zusammen. Lesen gern zusammen. Like to read together. So either is just that they read together, not that they enjoy reading together or that they like to read together. I need the gern to make it that they like to read together.
Backst du immer in den Ferien mit deiner Nichte?
Do you always bake with your niece during the break? Backst du immer in den Ferien mit deiner Nichte? Are you only eating popcorn for dinner this evening? Isst du nur Popcorn? Heute Abend vor Abendessen? No, zum Abendessen. Isst du heute Abend nur Popcorn zum Abendessen? Okay. That's okay, I can try it again. Actually, let me bounce out and just check the leaderboard. I just want to see where I'm at with 3 minutes left here. Oof. Good thing I'm practicing because I'm still right on the edge of demotion. As everyone fights to stay on board the boat. Let's go through some mistakes real quick. Hopefully I can do this in under 3 minutes.
Mit wem gehst du zum Strand?
With whom are you going to the beach? My mom and lit to watch TV this evening. Meine Mama will heute Abend Fernsehen. Nope. Are you going to the church with your grandma tomorrow? Gehst du morgen mit deiner Oma in die Kirche? Meine niece and I had tour together. Meine Nichte und ich lesen gern zusammen. I always fish during the break with my brother. Ich fische immer mit meinem Bruder. Ich immer mit meinem Bruder in den Ferien. We need organic cucumbers. Go to the health food store. Wir brauchen Biogurken. Geh in den Bioladen. Are you only eating popcorn for dinner this evening? Ooh. Isst du heute Abend nur Popcorn zum Abendessen? I went to sleep in every day during the break. Ich will jeden Tag in den Ferien ausschlafen. I went to watch comedy with my dad. Ich will mit meinem Papa eine Komödie sehen. When you're in break, wann hast du Ferien? Wann hast du Ferien? My mom would like to watch TV this evening. Meine Mama möchtest heute Abend Fernsehen. Nope. Meine Mama möchte heute Abend Fernsehen. Ooh, 20 XP. Under 3 minutes. 24th place. 28 seconds left. It's counting down. I'm going to take a sip of water here. I wonder if electricity is expensive in... Oh, maybe Australia takes care of its citizens better. And like for residential neighborhoods, they probably have like... Hopefully they have like green energy stuff. Here in Hawaii, they just pile on the charges for electricity. Oh, nice. Yeah, we have coal plants, I think, here in Hawaii. I don't even think we have any nuclear energy or anything. We do have technically some solar, but wow. Okay. Time to refresh. Oh, I need to just complete a lesson and I'll be on the leaderboard. Hopefully I maintained my position in Diamond. It says Diamond League. So it looks like maybe I just stayed in the Diamond League. Let's do something to restore. Got a little time here. Not in a rush now, so I can restore or something.
On.
Der Park. The park.
Asa.
Is the hotel very elegant? Ist der Hotel? Das Hotel? Der Hotel? Das Hotel. Ist das Hotel sehr elegant? Is the hotel very elegant? I just watched the movie, what's it called? Grand Budapest Hotel. It's a weird movie. Ist das Hotel sehr elegant? Is the hotel very elegant?
Ha. Ha.
Oh, the restaurant is very elegant. Oh. Das Restaurant ist sehr elegant.
Ohre.
It's a Wes Anderson movie.
Ohre. Ohre.
Park is over there. Der Park ist da drüben.
Ich. Ich.
Taxi stand is over there. Das Taxistand ist da drüben. Der Taxistand. Okay, the library is die Bibliothek. Bibliothek. Die Bibliothek. The market and the taxi stand, der Markt und der Taxistand. The taxi stand is here. Der Taxi stand ist dort. Here. No, here. Da. The coffee shop is elegant. Das Cafe. Where's my Altger? There it is. Das Cafe ist elegant. Yeah. If you didn't like The Life Aquatic, I don't think you'd enjoy his other movies. Though The Life Aquatic, I actually had never seen that. I just watched that for the first time a couple weeks ago, and some of the language they put in Bill Murray's mouth, I really objected to, even though like they kind of softened it later on. Eine Kirche, I felt it was necessary. Eine Kirche und eine Bibliothek. Eine Bibliothek. A park, a library and a park. Eine Bibliothek und ein Park. Taxi stand is over there. Der Taxistand ist da drüben. Taxi stand is here. Der Taxistand ist hier. Church and a library. Eine Kirche. I like a lot about the filmmaking or the way the films look. I think that's the best part I can say about those movies. I find that very appealing. And then the rest of the film is kind of Church and a library. Eine Kirche und eine Bibliothek. Like, I'll put up with a lot in a movie, but and I'm watching like all of this dude's films, but I can't say I enjoy the plot in most of them. Grand Budapest at least had kind of an interesting plot. Alright, so where am I at on Leaderboard? It's not telling me yet, even though I just completed some lessons. There I am, 27th place, Nick so schlecht. That's fine, because the leaderboard just started. Why do people put their full name in here? I will never understand. Alright. It's a Duolingo leaderboard.
Ich muss lernen, aber ich will die Zeitung lesen.
I have to study, but I want to read the newspaper. Bernice is nice. She's making popcorn for us. Deine Nichte ist nett. Sie macht Popcorn for uns.
Ich lese mit meiner Nichte ein Kinderbuch.
I'm reading a children's book with my niece. Ich lese mit meiner Nichte ein Kinderbuch. You make popcorn with your brother. Kannst du mit deinem Bruder Popcorn machen? No, deinem Bruder. Oh, Kookaburra. We got a gang of magpies that chases out other critters. Just like a biker gang of magpies. Most dangerous gang. I want magpie biker gang, darn it. I want birds. Actual birds on bikes on motorcycles. Thanks for the follow, I appreciate it. Kannst du mit deinem Bruder Popcorn machen?
Sei lieb und mach Popcorn für uns, bitte.
Be nice and make popcorn for us, please. Sei lieb und mach Popcorn für uns, bitte. You want to read a children's book with your niece? Willst du mit deiner Nichte They're playing with a dried leaf moments before. Oh, that's a good game. That'd be what was it called? Road Rash? I guess there's already like a modern Road Rash isn't there, but a Road Rash game where you're a biker gang of magpies. And I don't know. I guess it's like Skatebird, but you're a magpie. That would be awesome. Willst du mit deiner Nichte? Oh, they aren't related. Yeah, I think I've seen your photos of the magpies. They don't really look like that one. Australian magpie. This I love this description here on Wikipedia. The Australian magpie is conspicuously pied, with black and white plumage reminiscent of a Eurasian magpie. But I like that it's conspicuously pied. It's not a corvid? Wow. Cool looking birds. Oh. Hear him sing. That is nice. Very good, magpies. I love this dude. I love this dude here just like, ah! This magpie cracks me up. Like, this magpie looked like it went, ah! It's like yelling at the top of its lungs. Excuse me. I'm a bird. Did you know I'm a bird? Excuse me. I'm a bird. Why? They attack? I guess this is what you're talking about. We're saying they're territorial. They swoop at kids? It's no good. Oh, jeez. A protected native species in Australia. Hey, it spikes out to protect yourself from magpies? That seems like that might render the helmet kind of ineffective. Maybe they're very soft. Maybe they're like straws. Other cable ties? Oh, you're right. They totally are. So yeah, so this wouldn't actually hurt anybody. That's good. I actually really appreciate that the photographer here Took care not to get the cyclist face in the picture because you don't want to be the person in the picture on Wikipedia. I love this photo. This one's really good. This absolute gall, this magpie would be like, yo, GTFO. Alright. Do you want to read a children's book with your niece? Willst du mit deiner Nichte? Willst du mit deiner Nichte ein Kinderbuch lesen? Deiner Nichte,
Ich will
ja.
mit meinem Papa eine Komödie sehen.
I want to watch a comedy with my dad. Ich will mit meinem Papa eine Komödie sehen. That's interesting. Like sometimes they go after someone with sunglasses. Weird. Be nice to make popcorn for us, please. Sei lieb und mach Popcorn for uns bitte. You make popcorn with your brother. Kannst du mit deinem Bruder Popcorn machen? Do you want to read a children's book with your niece? Willst du mit deiner Nichte ein Kinderbuch lesen?
Mein Opa und ich trinken Kaffee und lesen die Zeitung.
My grandpa and I are drinking coffee and reading the newspaper. Oh, so Tasmanian magpies are nicer. My grandpa and I are drinking coffee and reading the newspaper. It's interesting if you picture like you're talking about them learning that particular humans are dangerous. If they think that people with sunglasses are dangerous because they're the ones like working for the town or whatever, they have to clean up after them or whatever. But it's remarkable thinking about them like holding a grudge and just being like, yo, that dude over there, you see him, you swoop at him. I read a children's book with my sister at night. Ich lese ein Kinderbuch mit meiner Schwester at night. Ich lese. Ooh, how do I say at night? Oh, totally. Teens are always getting up in trouble. Ich lese ein Kinderbuch at night. Nachts. Lese nachts. Ich lese nachts mit ein Kinderbuch mit meiner Schwester oder ich lese nachts mit meiner Schwester ein Kinderbuch. I read a children's book with my sister at night.
Ich sehe mit meinem Opa eine Komödie.
I am watching a comedy with my grandpa. Ich sehe mit meinem Opa eine Komödie. I like to read the newspaper, but only during the break. Ich lese eine Zeitung. Oh no, ich lese gern die Zeitung, but only during the break. So I went from A to the because it says the newspaper, and it's I like to, so that's why it's gern. Ich lese gern die Zeitung, but only during the break. Aber nur in den Ferien. Ich lese gern die Zeitung, aber nur in den Ferien. I like to read the newspaper, but only during the break.
Backst du immer in den Ferien mit deiner Nichte?
Do you always bake with your niece during the break? Backst du immer in den Ferien mit deiner Nichte? Would you like to watch a comedy with your brother? So this is a would you? So this is mochtest du Mit deinem Bruder eine Komödie sehen. Eine Komödie sehen. Möchtest du mit deinem Bruder eine Komödie sehen? Would you like to watch a comedy with your brother?
Ich lese gern die Zeitung, aber nur in den Ferien.
I like to read the newspaper, but only during the break. Ich lese gern die Zeitung, aber nur in den Ferien. Want to watch a comedy with my dad? Ich will mit meinem? Ja, meinem Papa eine Komödie sehen. Komödie sehen. There we go. Ich will mit meinem Papa eine Komödie sehen. Komödie sehen? I'm not saying Komödie the way it does. I want to watch a comedy with my dad.
Meine Oma ist lieb. Sie backt für mich Kekse.
My grandma is nice. She bakes cookies for me. Meine Oma ist lieb. Sie backt für mich Kekse. That's 40 XP. Which is pretty good. Ba ba ba. First place. Wow, that's not gonna last. Let's do questions. Gonna grab another sip of water here.
Leben Sie in Deutschland, Frau Merkel?
First place. Monster kill.
Leben Sie in Deutschland, Frau Merkel?
You've called your caller number 99.7 to the bone. You've won 2 tickets to Springsteen at the Garden this weekend. Who loves you and who do you love?
Leben Sie in Deutschland, Frau Merkel?
Leben Sie in Deutschland, Frau Merkel? Do you live in Germany, Miss Merkel? I hope so, because you were chancellor there for a long time. Miss Merkel is the chancellor? No, she is not anymore. Frau Merkel is Kanzlerin. How do you spell that? Kanzlerin. Frau Merkel is Kanzlerin. Miss Merkel is the chancellor.
Frau Merkel, wo leben Sie?
Frau Merkel, wo leben Sie? Miss Merkel, where do you live? What is your name? Wie ist Ihr Name? Oder wie heißen Sie? What is your name?
Wo leben Sie, Frau Merkel?
Wo leben Sie, Frau Merkel? Where do you live, Miss Merkel? Okay, let's match some pairs. Student ist Schüler.
Schüler.
Bread ist Brot.
Brot.
Offen ist oft.
Oft.
Work ist Arbeit.
Arbeit.
Waiter ist Kellner. And when it's a lady waiter, then it's Kellnerin.
Entschuldigung, wie heißen Sie?
Entschuldigung, wie heißen Sie? Excuse me, what is your name? This is the most polite version. Entschuldigung, wie heißen Sie? Frau Merkel, are you professor? Miss Merkel, are you professor? Frau Merkel, bist du Professorin? No, sind Sie Professorin? Frau Merkel, sind Sie Professorin? Miss Merkel, are you professor?
Ja, Frau Merkel ist Kanzlerin.
Ja, Frau Merkel ist Kanzlerin. Yes, Miss Merkel is the chancellor. Mr. Kohl is the chancellor. Herr Kohl is Kanzler. Hier ist hier.
Hier.
Student is Schüler.
Schüler.
Owl is Eule.
Eule.
Eule. But is Aber.
Aber.
Old is alt.
Alt.
Yes, Miss Merkel is the chancellor. Ja. Frau Merkel is Kanzlerin.
Herr Kohl ist Kanzler.
Herr Kohl is Kanzler. Good afternoon. What is your name? Guten Tag. Wie ist Ihr Name? Oder guten Tag, wie heißen Sie?
Kommen Sie aus Schweden, Herr Nobel?
Kommen Sie aus Schweden? Herr Nobel? Oh, no umlaut on kommen Sie. Kommen Sie aus Schweden, Herr Nobel? Are you from Sweden, Miss Nobel? A Professor, Mr. Graf. Sind Sie Professorin? Frau Graf.
Frau Gabo, kommen Sie aus Schweden?
Frau Garbo, kommen Sie aus Schweden? Miss Garbo, are you from Sweden? Anna, are you a student? Anna, bist du Studentin? Oder Schülerin? So this is der Schüler. I think there's an umlaut here. Yeah, der Schüler, the student, when we're talking about a boy. Let's see. Miss Garbo, are you from Sweden? Frau Garbo, kommen Sie aus Schweden? Miss Merkel, are you professor? Frau Merkel, sind Sie... Oh, I wrote sein. Sind Sie Professorin? Yeah. Tied for fifth. 64 XP. First place now has 177 XP. In 22 minutes. Unbelievable. Alright, let's keep going. I'm going to repair transport. It's funny, this time after the leaderboard has started, I can actually like take my time better. Because I've got like 7 more hours in the day, basically. When is the bus number 14 coming? Wann? Wann kommt Bus Nummer 14? Not sure about this phrasing. Wann kommt... Oh, I was right. Wann kommt Bus Nummer 14? When is bus number 14 coming? Because I don't understand the past, present, and future tense. Here we're talking about the future. When is this coming? But wann kommt Bus Nummer 14? I guess turned out to be right.
Ja, gehen Sie circa 10 Minuten geradeaus.
Yes, go straight ahead for about 10 minutes. Ja, gehen Sie circa 10 Minuten geradeaus. Take note, bus number 14. Ooh. Name? Is that right? No, fahren Sie, right. Fahren Sie mit Bus Nummer 14. And bus should be uppercase. I don't think number should be. Number. Fahren Sie mit Bus Nummer 14. Take bus number 14.
Gehen Sie 10 Minuten geradeaus und dann links.
Go straight ahead for 10 minutes and then to the left. Gehen Sie 10 Minuten geradeaus und dann links. Go 14 minutes by foot. Gehen Sie... No. Geh... Zu Fuß. Geh 14 Minuten zu Fuß. Geht 14 Minuten zu Fuß oder gehen Sie 14 Minuten zu Fuß. Go 14 minutes by foot.
Ich möchte im Urlaub einen Zoo besuchen.
I'd like to visit the zoo on vacation. Oh, a zoo on vacation. Because they say not the, but a. They say einen, which is a.
Urlaub.
A zoo, not...
Einen.
I wrote the zoo. I think that's where I messed up. One second. Okay. Anyway, I was getting distracted. I'd like to visit a zoo on vacation. Ich möchte im Urlaub einen Zoo besuchen. Ein Zoo besuchen. The art museum is over there. Das Kunstmuseum ist da drüben.
Der Elefant liebt den Zoo nicht.
Der Elefant liebt den Zoo nicht. The elephant doesn't love the zoo. Is the art museum nearby? Ist der Kunstmuseum in der Nähe? Das Kunstmuseum, okay. That isn't my address. Das ist nicht meine Adresse. How do you spell Adresse? It is like that. Das ist nicht meine Adresse. That isn't my address. The art museum is on the right. Das der, I can't remember now. Das Kunstmuseum ist rechts. Das Kunstmuseum is rechts. The art museum is on the right. Is the city center on the right? Ist das Stadtzentrum rechts? Ist das Stadtzentrum rechts? Is the city museum on the right? City center on the right, excuse me. City museum is Stadtmuseum. Is the river nearby? Ist Fluss. It's Fluss, but is it die der das Fluss? Why is my camera making me so orange? I think it's orange. Is the river nearby? Ist I think it's yeah, der Fluss in der Nähe. Ist der Fluss in der Nähe? Is the river nearby? Where's the river? Wo ist der Fluss? Would you like to see the river? Take me to the river. Möchtest du den Fluss? Okay, du möchtest du den Fluss sehen? Möchtest du den Fluss sehen? Would you like to see the river? Would you like to visit the zoo? Wir möchten den Zoo besuchen. Oh, sehen. Because they're not visiting, they're sehen. They're seeing it. Oh no, it is besuchen. Oh, because they said they want to visit it. They don't want to see it. Shoot. That's okay. Repeat the address, please. Wiederholen Sie die Adresse. Bitte. Wiederholen Sie die Adresse, bitte. Repeat the address, please. Excuse me, repeat, please. Entschuldigung. Wiederholen. Bitte. Wiederholen Sie, bitte. Okay. I'm sorry, repeat the address, please. Entschuldigung. Wiederholen die Adresse. Bitte. No, wiederholen Sie. Ah. Go straight ahead for 5 minutes. Okay. Gehen Sie 5 Minuten geradeaus. Geradeaus. Gehen Sie 5 Minuten geradeaus. Go straight ahead for 5 minutes.
Ich möchte im Urlaub einen Zoo besuchen.
I would like to visit the zoo on vacation. No, a zoo. A zoo. I would like to visit a zoo on vacation. Almost made the same mistake again. Ich möchte im Urlaub einen Zoo besuchen. Is the art museum nearby? Ist der Kunstmuseum in der Nähe? It said there. It's das. Is this a flip-floppy word that switches between der and das, depending on the context? Must be. We'd like to visit the zoo. Wir möchten den Zoo besuchen. Excuse me, repeat please. Entschuldigung. Wiederholen Sie bitte. Sorry, repeat the address, please. Entschuldigung. Wiederholen Sie die Adresse. Bitte. The art museum nearby ist das Kunstmuseum in der Nähe. Alright, finally, get through it. Got 12 mistakes to work on. Church and library. Eine Kirche und eine Bibliothek. Do you want to read a children's book with your niece? Willst du mit deiner Nichte ein Kinderbuch lesen? Miss Merkel, are you Professor? Frau Merkel? Sind Sie Professorin? The art museum nearby ist das Kunstmuseum in der Nähe. You make popcorn with your brother. Kannst du mit deinem Bruder Popcorn machen? I'm sorry, repeat the address, please. Entschuldigung. Wiederholen Sie die Adresse, bitte. Excuse me, repeat please. Entschuldigung. Wiederholen Sie bitte.
Ich möchte im Urlaub einen Zoo besuchen.
I would like to visit a zoo on vacation. Ich möchte im Urlaub einen Zoo besuchen. Taxi stand is here. Der Taxi stand ist here. The taxi stand is here. I would like to visit the zoo. Wir wollen den Zoo besuchen. Wir möchten, right? Because they would like. Wir möchten den Zoo besuchen. We'd like to visit the zoo. Okay. Third place again. First place is a bit of a jog up the hill. Alright. So I got this nice graph here showing me how close I am to 200 XP right now. It's 198 today. Even though only 94 of that went to the new leaderboard, which is fine. Kept me in the Diamond League, which is the purpose of that. What next? Gotta kind of set myself up to have more stuff towards the end of the week that'll be in the legendary zone. So I guess I gotta level up these like 3 or 4 or 5 things this week. Diese Woche.
Eule.
Owl.
Spinat.
Spinach.
30.
30.
Verheiratet.
Married.
Linda ist meine Freundin, der Junge ist ihr Enkel.
Linda is my girlfriend. Her... What?
Enkel.
Her boy is my grandson? No, her boy is... No, the boy is her grandson. Okay, that makes more sense. Otherwise, there's a whole thing going on here that doesn't make any sense at all. Linda is my girlfriend, the boy is her grandson. Linda ist meine Freundin, der Junge ist ihr Enkel.
Diese Frau heißt Heidi, sie liebt diese Katze.
Diese Frau
Frau
heißt Heidi.
Heidi. Diese Frau heißt Heidi, sie liebt diese Katze.
Sie liebt diese
Diese
Katze.
Katze.
This woman's name is Heidi. She loves this cat. Diese Frau heißt Heidi. Sie liebt diese Katze.
Die Frau ist meine Mama und der Junge ist ihr Enkel.
A woman is my mom, and the boy is her grandson. It's her grandson. Oh, I missed the in the boy. Ugh. Oh, it's and the. Shoot.
Der Student studiert Geschichte, er wohnt unten.
Der Student. I can just write this down.
Der Student studiert Geschichte, er wohnt unten. Der Student studiert Geschichte, er wohnt unten.
Geschichte.
Der Student studiert Geschichte, er wohnt unten.
Wohnt unten. I misspelled Geschichte, but the student is studying history. He lives downstairs. It's a weird thing to say. Der Student studiert Geschichte. Wohnt unten. Does the student live downstairs? Wohnt der Student unten? I misspelled unten, but that's
Diese
fine.
Nachbarin ist meine Chefin, kennst du sie auch?
Diese Nachbarin ist.
Diese Nachbarin ist meine Chefin, kennst du sie auch?
Kennst du was?
Diese
Yep.
Nachbarin
Yep.
ist
Yep.
meine
Mm-hmm.
Chefin.
Yes.
Kennst du sie auch?
Kennst du sie auch? Do you know her too? The neighbor is my boss. Do you also know her? Diese Nachbarin ist meine Chefin. Kennst du sie auch? You know the boy, he is nice and helpful. Wir kennen der Jungen. Wir kennen den Jungen? Was? Why den? Why has it become den? Wir kennen den Jungen. Er ist nett und höflich. Is that right? Hilfreich. Wir kennen den Jungen. Er ist nett und hilfreich. We know the boy. He is nice and helpful.
Der Student wohnt unten, er spielt nachts Gitarre.
Der Student wohnt unten.
Der Student wohnt unten, er spielt nachts Gitarre.
Er spielt nachts Gitarre. I'll play my guitar. It's been a while. The student lives downstairs. He plays guitar at night. Der Student wohnt unten. Er spielt nachts Gitarre. Anna is my sister and the boy is her son. Anna ist meine Schwester. Schwester oder Schwester? Schwester. Anna ist meine Schwester and the boy is her son. Und der Junge ist ihr Sohn. Ja.
Hast du die Bücher für den Studenten?
Hast du die Bücher für was?
Hast du die Bücher für den Studenten?
Für den Studenten. Do you have the books for the student? Wait, why is I thought Studenten was always talking about multiple students. Very confused. It's end declination, it says. And it's accusative masculine singular. Wow. This person has 1,992 day streak. That's incredible. That's incredible. I thought my 769 days was a lot. Hast du Bücher?
Hast du die Bücher für den Studenten?
Hast du die Bücher für den Studenten? My colleague is married. His wife is the boss there. Meine Kollegin ist verheiratet. Verheiratet. I'm not spelling this correctly. Ugh. Verheiratet. Verheiratet. My colleague is, no, it's mein colleague. It's just, I don't know. Yeah, it is mein Kollege. Because it's not Kollegin, so it's mein Kollege. If it was Kollegin, it'd be meine Kollegin. Meine Kollege? Mein Kollege ist verheiratet. Sein Frau ist die Chefin hier. Seine Frau ist Chefin hier. Mein Kollege ist verheiratet. Seine Frau ist Chefin here, right?
Kennst du auch meinen Kollegen?
Do you also know my colleague? I misspelled colleague. I wrote college. I'm baking cookies for the student. Oh, he is on break. Ich backe. So backe. No. It is B-A-C-K-E. Backe Kekse for der Student. Hat feiern. Ich backe Kekse für den Studenten. I don't understand this situation where der Student becomes den Studenten. I know I can, obviously it's something I'm gonna have to learn, but it's very confusing. Ich backe Kekse für den Studenten. Hat feiern. I'm baking cookies for the student. He is on break. Duolingo looks so sad. It's pretty good though.
Ja, ich kenne den Jungen, denn er ist mein Bruder.
Yes, I know the boys.
Jungen.
Or boy? Yes, I know the boy. Because he is my brother. Yes, I know the boy because he is my brother. Ja, ich kenne den Jungen, denn ist mein Bruder. The artist likes to paint in the park. Do you know her? Ooh, or this artist. Diese Künstler? Künstlerin. So if they umlaut on the U? Yes. Diese Künstlerin likes to paint in the park. Oh, malt gern im Park. Malt gern im Park. Diese Künstlerin malt gern im Park. That's, this artist likes to paint in the park. But now we need the second half of the sentence. Kennst ihr auch? Kennst du sie? Diese Künstlerin malt gern im Park. I'm glad I got that part correct. This artist likes to paint the park. Diese Künstlerin malt gern im Park. Kennst du sie? I wrote kennst ihr auch. I like my colleague. He is also my neighbor. Ich mag mein Kollege. Ist auch mein Nachbar. Ist auch mein Nachbar. Ich mag meinen Kollegen.
Die Frau ist meine Mama und der Junge ist ihr Enkel.
The woman is my mom and the boy is her grandson. Die Frau ist meine Mama und der Junge ist ihr Enkel. My colleague is married, his wife is the boss here. Mein Kollegin ist verheiratet. Verheiratet? Yes. There's only 2 R's in verheiratet. I don't know what it is. Meine Kollegin ist verheiratet. Seine Frau ist Chefin hier. No. What did I get wrong? Mein Kollegin? Oh, it's just mein Kollege ist verheiratet. Seine Frau ist Chefin here. Okay.
Kennst du auch meinen Kollegen?
You also know my colleague. I'm baking cookies for the student. He is on break. Ich backe Kekse vor den Studenten. Er hat Bayern. Sweet. Doris likes to paint in the park. Do you know her? Diese Künstlerin malt gern im Park. Then do you know her? Oh. Kennen Sie? No, kennst du sie? Kennst du sie? Yes. Diese Künstlerin malt gern im Park. Kennst du sie? This artist likes to paint in the park. Do you know her? Like my colleague, he's also my neighbor. Ich mag mein Kollegen. I'm not sure. Ich mag meinen Kollegen. Er ist auch mein Nachbar. Yeah, ich mag meinen Kollegen. Er ist auch mein Nachbar. I like my colleague. He is also my neighbor. My colleague is married. His wife is the boss here. Mein Kollege ist verheiratet. Seine Frau ist Chefin hier. Finally. Oof. Tough one. What are we doing here? 4th place. Ah. Let's level up. How about errands? Oh, matching pairs. That's easy.
Familie.
Familia. That's family. I need Vin Diesel pop up whenever I have family pop up. It's about him. I see some clip where he's saying it's about family. I literally need just him saying it's about family. Soundboard. Clip.
I heard you were the guy that talked to about cars.
No. Why is there not one about family? He's so much about family in the movies. I figure out how to rip these WAV files. It's the same thing. Gosh, E-Bombs World. This is gonna be like a Flash thing. Yeah, this doesn't even exist. This doesn't even exist. Vin Diesel explicit soundboard. Scene at download. What? I used to prank call people a long time ago, but my friends, family, and coworkers with the soundboards. It's pretty good. Best is when someone wouldn't really understand that it wasn't a person. This search is terrible. Love DuckDuckGo, but they need better.
I don't have friends. I got family.
That's pretty good. Anyway,
Kochen.
cooking,
Anrufen.
calling.
Komödie.
Was möchtest du zum Mittagessen kochen?
What would you like to cook for lunch? Was möchtest du zum Mittagessen kochen?
Schlecht.
Bad.
Gleis.
Let's skip that one.
Pause.
Pause? Break?
Kochen.
Cooking?
Gleis.
Oh, track. Right.
Es gibt ein Problem mit deinem Pass, geh zur Botschaft. Es gibt ein Problem mit deinem Pass, geh zur Botschaft. Es gibt ein Problem mit deinem Pass, geh zur Botschaft.
Geht was? Es gibt...
Gibt ein Problem mit. Es gibt ein Problem mit deinem Pass, geh zur Botschaft. Geh zur Botschaft.
Go to the embassy. There's a problem with your passport. Go to the embassy. Es gibt ein Problem mit deinem Pass. Geh zur Botschaft. Botschaft?
Es
Botschaft?
gibt ein Problem mit deinem Pass, geh zur Botschaft.
Geh zur Botschaft.
Ich gehe mit dir zur Botschaft. Du gehst mit mir zur Bank.
I'm going with you to the embassy. You are going with me to the bank. I go with you to the embassy. You go with me to the bank. Ich gehe mit dir zur Botschaft. Du gehst mit mir zur Bank. Zur Bank?
Ich gehe mit dir zur Botschaft. Du gehst mit mir zur Bank.
Bank.
Ja, ich kann mit dir zur Bank fahren. Ja. Ich
kann.
mit dir zur. Ja, ich kann mit dir zur Bank fahren. Fahren.
Yes, I can drive with you to the bank. Or I can ride with you to the bank. Ja, ich kann mit dir zur Bank fahren.
Du musst nicht allein gehen, ich kann mit dir gehen.
You cannot go alone. I can go with you. Oh, you have to... Oh, you don't have to go alone. You don't have to go alone. I can go with you. Du musst nicht allein gehen. Ich kann mit dir gehen.
Gehst du nachher mit mir zur Bank?
Gehst du nachher? Nachher. I've never heard that before.
Gehst du nachher mit mir zur Bank?
Mit mir zur Bank. You're going with me to the bank afterwards. Gehst du nachher mit mir zur Bank? That's a strange one. Nachher. It's gonna let me type. There we go. Nachher. Later. Afterwards. That's the usage we're using here.
Later.
It's not gonna say anything. Okay. I want to hear a human say this. Let's go over to Forvo. See if we can find someone who said this.
Nachher.
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 All right. Gehst du nachher mit mir zur Bank? Are you going with me to the bank afterwards?
Wir haben viel zu tun, aber wir sehen nachher einen Film.
We have a lot to do, but we are seeing a movie afterwards. Okay, but we are watching a movie afterwards. We have a lot to do, but we are watching a movie afterwards. Wir haben viel zu tun, aber wir sehen nachher einen Film.
Ich bin nervös, kannst du mit mir zur Botschaft mitkommen?
Ich bin nervös. Kannst du mit
mir? Ich bin nervös, kannst du mit mir zur Botschaft mitkommen? Zur Botschaft mitkommen.
Oof. That's a long sentence. I'm nervous. Can you come along with me to the embassy? Ich bin nervös. Kannst du mit mir zur Botschaft mitkommen?
Es tut mir leid, aber ich habe viel zu tun.
I'm sorry. But I have a lot to do. But I have a lot to do. I'm sorry, but I have a lot to do. Es tut mir leid, aber ich habe viel zu tun.
Ich kann nicht zur Party kommen, ich habe viel zu tun.
Ich kann nicht zur Party kommen.
Ich kann nicht zur Party kommen, ich habe viel zu tun.
Ich habe viel zu tun. Ich kann nicht zur Party kommen, ich habe viel zu tun. I cannot go to the party. I have a lot to do. I have to go to the embassy. Where's my passport? Ich muss
zur Botschaft gehen. Ist mein Pass.
Ich muss zur Botschaft gehen. Wo ist mein Pass? Yes, I can ride with you to the bank.
Ja. Ich kann mit dir zur Bank fahren.
Ja, ich kann mit dir zur Bank fahren. Yes, I can ride with you to the bank. Are you going with me to the bank afterwards? Gehst du mit
mir, dir,
no. Mit mir.
zur Bank nachher.
No, gehst du nachher mit mir zur Bank? Oof, complicated sentence. I can't come to the party. I have a lot to do. Ich kann. No, ich kann.
Nicht zur Party kommen. Ich habe viel zu tun.
Ich kann nicht zur Party kommen. Ich habe viel zu tun. I can't come to the party. I have a lot to do. We are cooking dinner together today. Wir kochen.
Heute zusammen Abendessen.
Wir kochen heute zusammen Abendessen. We are cooking dinner together today. Another one where I'm just left wondering about, while I'm assembling the sentence, making sure I have the right order, but I am absolutely not sure. I was glad I got that right. You're going with me to the bank afterwards. Gehst du nachher mit mir zur Bank. Yeah, gehst du nachher mit mir zur Bank. Fortunately, I only get 10 XP for going a little bit out of my zone and trying something new. But at least they gave me a combo bonus in 4th place still. Let's see. I grab a drink of water. Helps if I unmute this. There we go. Good. My gosh, someone has 100 more XP than I do already. It's so frustrating because the mobile version of Duolingo gives you so much more XP. But I don't have a good way to either stream a mobile device or I don't know, like even if I could like just use, excuse me, if I could just use my phone to stream the phone version, I'd just be like staring down at the screen all the time, which would be a terrible stream. Yeah, and I think it is much more pleasant for me to be at a personal computer. And typing on a computer, I'm much faster too. I can do a lot more Duolingo in a lot less time. But they just don't have, I mean, like supposedly you can run Android apps on Windows, but I don't know how to get, like if I open up, let me see if I can show it here. Maybe it's changed, so it's good to check again. Nope, that's the wrong one. There we go. You can open up the Amazon App Store, which starts the Windows subsystem for Android trademark. I'm not sure I can show this actual thing though. I actually applied to work at Duolingo a long time ago, but they seem like they're a complicated business. I'm not sure. Yeah, they're not going to show. This Amazon App Store for Windows is not going to show me anything. Very frustrating. But theoretically, if I had the APK for Duolingo and I just need an Android device, I think I could, or maybe I could even use just like BlueStacks or something. Is that even safe to use right now? Thanks. Do I still have it installed? Don't have it installed. I think I used to. Well, like, if I could get that running, this would be, I'd be getting a lot more XP. Yeah, it looks like I can download BlueStacks, which will let me run Android on my, which is silly because I have this Windows subsystem for Android. How do I just download an APK? I'm Googling, I can show my desktop. Or DuckDuckGoing. Just trying to figure out like how you safely do this. I'm not super well versed with the Android ecosystem. It's been a while. I have one Android device. I guess technically two, I think. I'm not sure if I electronically or I took one thing to electronic recycling yet. Run APK Windows 11 because I know. Hello, Caleb R. Guten Tag, wie geht es dir? No problem, Caleb. I can also speak English. So there's the Windows subsystem for Android. So I almost wonder if I could like use my old Android. I've got an NVIDIA Shield device. I wonder if I could use that to like get the APKs off of there. I'm trying to run Duolingo. It is a lot of fiddling. But I think once I get it done, it won't be that complicated. But yeah, I'm trying to run Duolingo on my desktop computer so that I can have all the functionality of the mobile version, because the Windows version, yeah, I was looking at BlueStacks too, but maybe that is what I should do. It says go to APK mirror. Can I get the Duolingo APK from here? Here we go. What advantage does it, this is a great question, Cheese. What advantage does experience give you? Does it potentially decrease your learning opportunities if you have to work less to accumulate it? That's a great question. The answer is, the advantage to me is that it lets me do the work that's better for me, I think. And there's learning opportunities on the mobile version that are not available on the desktop version. Like there's a microphone thing that I probably wouldn't use. I probably wouldn't stream with just because, oh, maybe I could, but I don't know how well that'd work. And why is my green screen getting worse as the day goes on here? Right, because the sun's going down, so the color temperature of my background's changing. There we go. But but yeah, I think it would be nice if I could potentially focus more on this is no good. I should just use BlueStacks. This is dumb. This is way too complicated. Caleb is right. Keep. This will take like 2 minutes here once I get this set up. Let me Oop. I think it'll be better this way. Potentially. And we can see. I mean, if it's worse, it's worse. It's fine because BlueStacks is like set up just so that you can play mobile games and basically destroy mobile game players by using a mouse and keyboard. That's like pretty much the entire, like, all their marketing is geared toward that. All their website is. Fastest load times ever. I'll just leave this open until it asks me for our username and password or whatever. No, it's totally gross. Totally gross. And like I feel like the company that makes BlueStacks too, which is basically the Windows emulator for, or the Android emulator for Windows up until Windows added their own, or Microsoft added their own with Amazon. I feel like BlueStacks is like the thing I'd most likely assume would install on my system and start. After a few days, it pitches everything down like 2 octaves, and it's really funny. Nice, Caleb. Oh my gosh, so gross. What on earth? Oh, apparently I have to restart my computer immediately. You get the full Windows experience with my streams. The nice thing is I can keep streaming because I'm doing a 2-computer stream system. I like the no video. I like the font it uses. I really need to like capture that and just like put it up. One second here. I'll log in. My audio stuff boots again. We get the nice rain sound again. And BlueStacks will probably fire up and be like, "You're ready for owning noobs in PUBG or Call of Duty Mobile or whatever it is." And my computer completely melts down as it starts mining cryptocurrency on my computer. Or whatever garbage they want to do in exchange for letting you own noobs. Where is it? It's not, so they're mining cryptocurrency for them, not for me, I'd assume. If they're going to do it. Here we go. And showing you advertisements every 2 seconds. And cryptocurrency is also incredibly evil. I'd never mine it. All right. Child labor is not fun. I know you're joking. So this is BlueStacks. Here's the Google Play Store, which I assume is going to ask me to log in. So I can download Duolingo. Yeah, here we go. There goes my light. Night owl and early bird chest they had recently. Oh, let me fix my green screen. This is horrible. I don't know. I haven't had much experience with them, but I do get really frustrated with trying to keep up on the leaderboard and not lose my place. Where? Which one is this? Is one is my green screen. This is terrible. This chroma key is completely gone. I need to color pick a new color. Is the camera stopped? The thing has stopped working. The light has run out of battery. Select color. Paste. Okay. That's pretty good. But yeah, I don't like that it's so tough to keep up the leaderboard. Because people are just so like the second I start doing the leaderboard for the week, there's like people with like 200 XP within 30 minutes. I have to do some 2-factor thing. What do you think about it, Caleb? Do you like it? The Chester finds it's a cool way to get the 2 times XP bottles. I wish they had more stuff to buy in the shops. Do you want more stuff to buy with real money or more stuff to buy with the fake gems or whatever that they give you? Is this signing in or what? This thing's like stuck on the screen. The gems, yeah. There is an option to turn off the leaderboards. If you set your profile to private, you don't have to be on the leaderboards at all. I think that's generally fine. It'd be nice if they did have an option to say, I don't want to do leaderboards instead of having to have your thing totally private, because that way you can still do friends and stuff like that. I'm gonna sign in. I signed in. Started signing in. I approved the login. Oh, Windows. I'm on Diamond League. It's not that bad. It used some of the stuff I saw in the other leagues was worse. Though maybe it also knows how lazy I am and it. Oh, I have to scroll. I have to scroll down on this dialogue. I thought this dialogue was locked up, but I had to scroll down in the dialogue. There's no scroll bar at all. Oh shoot. What am I agreeing to? Google Play. I don't know. Google Terms of Service, blah blah blah. No one in Diamond is actually learning a language. That's not good to hear. I feel like I'm learning a language. Maybe I'm not. Who knows? Oh, good. I just got a Windows application error. Okay. I think I should have Duolingo in a couple seconds here. Gosh, the Google Play Store is... I mean, I know that the iOS App Store is bad, but also the Google Play Store is miserable. With like... Oh, I have that problem. Yeah, I have that problem sometimes with when I use the green screen. My green screen is I can chroma key out either green or blue because I have a green screen and on the other side it's blue. And then unfortunately sometimes it turns my eyes into this horrible like nightmare scenario. Yeah, I don't necessarily disagree with you, Cheese. In fact, as I get older, I probably agree with you more and more on that stuff. Oh, jeez. No, I didn't want to open this. No. There really should be more than 2 options as well. Like right now you've got Google and Android, and they barely control that platform. Samsung and Amazon, and there's all these other Android forks. But they really and Apple have a real hard lock on mobile ecosystems, and it's real bad. Android's only open if you're a giant corporation like Verizon or whatever, or Samsung. And even then, Google has such a lockdown on all that stuff. Well, all right, I didn't mean to close that tab. Reopen, close tab. I need to know about the Australian magpie. Now, I've got... Can I rotate this? Oh no, that's not good. This does not support any. This does not support any. All right, well I can show my screen now. I think this is good. There we go. Caleb, I don't really want to hear about that. Not sure why you'd post that into the chat here. So anyway, I've got Duolingo mobile up. See how this works. This is also very tiny though. Make it full screen. Yeah, that's not something you really want to share with folks, dude. I'm sorry that happened to you, but also... generally not something for polite company. All right, how do I get this to be like... there an option here for... A setting? I do portrait. Sure, go ahead and restart BlueStacks. Trying to figure out if I can make this more better. No, this is not better. This is portrait mode is up and down still. Can I lock portrait? It probably doesn't support. Oh my gosh. Where's Duolingo? There it is. Yeah, then it flips the device to... I know there's a way to force... on at least on older Android devices, I had a method to force the device to landscape mode. There's a shortcut here. All right, well, it's actually worse than it was before. Let me go back to the higher PPI. See if that's a little bit bigger and more readable. That's bigger. That's probably as good as it's going to get. Okay, let's see a lesson now. Go in here and do community. And I will full screen this and then clip the... Shoot. Let me see if I can duplicate this. I'm going to remove the capture from here. I'm going to paste a duplicate. Oh, I can't paste a duplicate? Can I trim this? Oh, Caleb, you've seen landscape mode for... Huh. Alright, well, let's just put up with this for the moment, and then... Maybe, I don't know. If I can transform it... I don't know, it's going to take time. Let's just go in here and see how this works.
Sehr.
Very.
Sitzen.
Sitting.
Verheiratet.
Married.
Langsam.
Slowly.
Diese Bank ist neu.
Diese Bank ist neu. This bank is new.
Geschäft.
Store.
Braun.
Brown.
Sie.
40. Gibt es eine Bank in dem Stadtviertel?
Gibt. Oh, it's not going to let me type right now.
Es.
Eine Bank.
Eine Bank in. Gibt es eine Bank in dem Stadtviertel?
Is there a bank in the neighborhood? The city quarter.
Du.
You?
Hoch.
I. Tall.
Schreibtisch.
Desk.
Milch.
Schreibtisch is desk. Milch is milk.
Dieses Gebäude ist nicht sehr hoch. Nicht sehr hoch.
This building is not very high. It's not very tall.
Es gibt einen Elefanten im Zimmer. Er heißt Paul.
There is there is an elephant in the room. His name is Paul. Es gibt einen Elefanten im Zimmer. Er heißt Paul.
Ja, die Bank ist in der Nähe.
Ja, die
Die
Bank
Bank
ist
ist
in der Nähe.
Nähe.
Math is math. Hi, Paul.
Ja, die Bank ist in der Nähe.
Ja, die Bank ist in der Nähe. Yes, the bank is nearby. Building is very old and really tall. This font seems a little too tiny, though. It says I can zoom with control and mouse wheel, but that does not seem to be working. Maybe it's because I'm in full screen mode? I don't know. The building is very old and really tall. Das Gebäude
Gebäude
ist
ist
wirklich
wirklich
alt
alt
und
und
sehr hoch.
hoch.
Das Gebäude ist wirklich alt und sehr hoch. The building is very old and really tall.
Ich kenne deinen Elefanten, aber ich mag ihn nicht.
I know your elephant, but I don't like him. This building is a theater. Dieses
Dieses
Gebäude
ist
ist ein Theater. Theater. Dieses Gebäude ist ein Theater. This building is a theater.
Mein Elefant will im Auto sitzen, aber er ist zu groß.
I mean, Paul's kind of like a love him, hate him kind of elephant. Sometimes some people love him. Sometimes some people just don't care for him. He's, you know, kind of gets in your face, got that big trunk. Who can say? Oh, that was loud. Just me getting my battery out of my lamp so it works again. Where's my charger? There's my charger. I need to get an AC adapter for this thing so I can stream for longer, not have to worry about it. Mein Elefant will im Auto sitzen, aber er ist zu groß. My elephant wants to sit in the car, but he is too big. My elephant wants to sit in the car, but he is too big. Ein Elefant will im Auto sitzen, aber er ist zu groß. I know the store, the shirt is cool. Ich kenne dieses Geschäft. Dieses Hemd ist cool.
Cool. Ich kenne dieses Geschäft hier nicht. Ist es neu?
I don't know this store. Is it new? I don't know this store. Oh, this store here. Is it new? I don't know the store here. Is it new? Ich kenne dieses Geschäft hier nicht. Ist es neu? The bank is in the city center and that is far away. Die Bank. Was it die? Ja, die Bank. Die Bank ist im Stadtzentrum. Und das ist weit weg. Weit weg. Die Bank ist im Stadtzentrum und das ist weit weg. The bank is in the city center and that is far away. My elephant wants to sit in the car, but he is too big. Mein Elefant ist wants to. Will im Car, im Auto sitzen. Aber
er ist zu groß.
Mein Elefant will im Auto sitzen, aber er ist zu groß. My elephant wants to sit in the car, but he is too big. Too big. There's an elephant in the room. His name is Powell. He eats Cheetos. He gets the Cheeto dust all over his trunk, all over his face. And then his trunk's everywhere. It's all in the car. So gross. There's an elephant in the room. His name is Paul. Es gibt im Zimmer.
Einen Elefanten.
Yeah, I wouldn't let him in my car if I had a car. Es gibt im Zimmer einen Elefanten.
Hi, Paul.
Oh, es gibt einen Elefanten im Zimmer. I had to do his name first, then the room. Okay.
Es gibt einen Elefanten im Zimmer. Hi, Paul.
Es gibt einen Elefanten im Zimmer. Heißt Paul. There's an elephant in the room. His name is Paul. All right. So yeah, this UI is clearly much. There's a lot more thought put into this UI. Chest unlocks in 11 hours. This thing does not know what time zone I'm in. That's what's going on. Yeah, I need to tell this thing what time I'm in, and also I can't really do that because yeah, it's I only do Duolingo when I'm streaming anymore. Unless I can't do Duolingo, or unless I can't stream that day. Or something else goes wrong. Let's try this lightning round. Oh yeah, here's trying to upsell me stuff. Wonderful. Already a subscriber to Duolingo. Start is anfangen.
Kommen nur 21 Leute zur Grillparty?
Are 21 people coming to the barbecue? No, are only 21 people. Dangerous is gefährlich.
Kommen nur 21 Leute zur Grillparty?
Are only 21 people coming to the barbecue?
Mein Sohn kommt mit seiner Freundin.
My son is coming with his girlfriend. Concert start now. Where's the band? Das Konzert.
Das Konzert.
Ist jetzt.
Anfangen.
Wo? No. Wo habt die Musik?
Die Musik.
No, wo ist die Musik? Das Konzert muss jetzt anfangen.
Meine Kollegin kauft mit ihrem Bruder im Supermarkt ein.
My colleague is shopping. What? Shops in the supermarket with her brother? Okay. My colleague shops in the supermarket with her brother. Is your partner coming to the party with her daughter? Kommt deine Partnerin? Oh, 8 seconds left. I'm not gonna make it. Kommt deine Partnerin zur Party?
Party mit ihrer.
Nope. Yeah. It's usually like the crying owl. Try to encourage you to go back and get a timer boost, which is, this many gems, and I can get the popular pack of 5 boosts for 1,800 gems. Oh, let me do that. It costs $9.99. I'm a subscriber to the service. Just F off, Duolingo. No, thank you. I don't know. I might stick with this for a little bit. It's not giving me much to type. No, totally. Yeah, I mean, this is obviously where most of their income's going to come from. And I'm sure also just that there's more users. Like, people don't have, or people have computers, but more people spend more time on mobile and have for like at least a decade now, I think. So yeah, they're not gonna they're not going to, I mean, just as a matter of where their users are, they're not going to prioritize. They're not going to prioritize their desktop version, their web version. I didn't believe it at first, like, but it is the truth. Like, I remember, like, a long time ago, like 12 years ago, I got an email from someone who was browsing ioquake3.org, a website I run. And they were complaining that the website is hard to read on mobile. I'm like, I didn't understand it, and I didn't want to agree with it, and I was angry with them. I didn't say it. I don't know why I said to them, actually. I could have been rude to them. I don't know. But, yeah, it's true. It's true. Users are on... I don't even run any kind of analytics services anymore, but users are on mobile primarily. And that changes, you know, depending on what kind of thing you're doing. Like, if you're offering software for download, you know, and you're primarily targeting like a desktop game download, then it's likely that you'll have more desktop users. But there's still just the idea is like, even me, right? Like when I'm trying to research something before I stream or whatever, I'll often be looking at it on my phone or a tablet or something. And so it's just a different kind of thing. What is this? Oh, jeez. No, I do not want to show a virtual keyboard. How do I get back? Take me back. What is the key combination? There we go. Here's Duolingo again. There has to be some way to lock this into landscape mode. So I can do this, but that's not useful. I'm like, unless my monitor, I actually do have a VESA mount, but I don't think it's a rotating one. I'm not using it right now, but that would be interesting. Game controls. Control Shift F8. Yeah. This is probably what I'll do for a little while. My profile's missing. It's weird. Yeah, I wonder how many people are like that anymore. I mean, I think it's... I remember 20 years ago when, or not 20 years ago, but maybe more like 17 or something years ago, before the iPhone and touchscreen stuff came about, and there were like resistive touchscreen PDAs like the Palm and the Sharp Zorus that ran Linux, or a version of Linux kernel, and then some UI layer on top. And like mobile, like there was no, at least I didn't have any way to get mobile internet then. It was too expensive, and already those things had terrible battery life. The Palm not so much, but the Sharp wasn't great. And like doing anything on them was completely miserable. Like it was just the worst experience, even though I loved how much the interfaces reminded me of even older interfaces, like interfaces on classic Macs and Amigas and stuff like that. And then now, like the stuff is I don't know. I mean, I don't really have a point here, but I definitely think that it's you can have useful things on there, like a mobile internet terminal, like with SSH and all, to access computers remotely and do very useful things. But I definitely understand, like, there are advantages to having your head up and enjoying life and having your computer time be the computer time, and then having your time not doing computer stuff, and not having your life kind of subjugated by the constant, ability to do things that are not what you're trying to focus on right now. Be that, take a break and rest, or whatever it is, or just cook dinner, or whatever it is you're trying to do. I think that's pretty admirable to try to get your head out of there. And like so many of the apps on mobile devices are so designed to like take up all of your time. Yeah, let's speaking of which, I don't see the same stuff I do on the mobile iOS version here. There's usually some kind of other goal stuff per day. I'm not seeing that on here. Yeah, when I'm cooking dinner too, like I've got, if I want to share music with my family, I've got a little network connected speaker that I can push music to, or I feel like it's safe enough for me to talk to. It's not I specifically don't have a Google device because I don't, or an Amazon device because I don't trust them enough to deal with, to keep that stuff private, but it's tough. It's tough keeping that stuff out of your life if you don't want it. But you can also just use like a Bluetooth speaker. Those things are pretty safe.
Acht.
8.
Bäume.
Trees.
Wieder.
Again.
7.
7.
Gibt es eine Post in der Nähe? Eine Post. Der, in, der Nähe.
Is there a post office nearby?
Hund.
Dog.
Bis.
Until.
Kartoffeln.
Potatoes.
Schule.
School.
Ich liebe diese Bäume.
I love these trees. Ich liebe diese Bäume.
Sind die Cafés am Wochenende geöffnet? Am Wochen geöffnet.
Are the cafes open on the weekend? Light rail is always punctual. Ooh, I don't know what light rail is. Die S-Bahn. Die S-Bahn
ist
immer
pünktlich.
pünktlich. Die S-Bahn ist immer pünktlich. The light rail is always punctual.
Wann kommt die S-Bahn?
Wann kommt die S-Bahn?
Die S-Bahn.
Wann kommt die S-Bahn? When is light rail coming? My daughter uses the bike every day. Meine Tochter benutzt
das Fahrrad.
Oh, I need to do jeden Tag.
Benutzt
das
jeden.
Good night, Caleb. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. Always good to have company while I'm learning. Meine Tochter benutzt jeden Tag.
Das Fahrrad.
Yes, meine Tochter benutzt jeden Tag das Fahrrad.
Es gibt viele Cafés. Willst du einen Kaffee trinken?
Es gibt viele Cafés.
Viele Kaffee.
Oh, Cafés.
Cafés. Es gibt viele Cafés. Willst du einen Kaffee trinken?
Willst du einen Kaffee trinken?
Kaffee trinken.
There are a lot of coffee shops. Do you want to drink a coffee? Es gibt viele Cafés. Willst du einen Kaffee trinken? My neighborhood has 8 coffee shops. Mein Stadtviertel hat 8 Cafés. Mein Stadtviertel had 8 cafes. My neighborhood has 8 coffee shops. I like city quarter. I think that's a cool term, man. I don't know. It seems fun to say, but maybe just because it's different.
Benutzt dein Sohn das Fahrrad oder fährst du ihn?
Does your son ride the bike or do you drive him? Does your son just ride? Use the bicycle, or do you drive him? These children are hungry. They want to eat cookies. Diese Kinder
Die Kinder.
hat weird cheese. That's maybe the weirdest thing I've ever seen you say. Diese Kinder sind no, they had hungry. There, you have hunger. Are hungry. Diese Kinder sind hungry.
Hungrig.
They want to eat cookies. Sie
Sie
wollen Kekse
Kekse essen.
Yes, diese Kinder sind hungrig. Sie wollen Kekse essen. These children are hungry. They want to eat cookies.
Die S-Bahn ist immer pünktlich.
The light rail is always punctual. There are a lot of trees in this neighborhood. Es gibt Do I feel like German, Cheese asks in the chat, do I feel like German's influences on English are making it easier or harder to learn? That's hard for me to say. I mean, I think I also first took German at a very young age when I was, oh gosh, must have been like 7 or 8 years old. In first or second grade. First and second grade, very briefly. Very, very briefly. So like there's a little bit still stuck in there from that, but not much. I can barely remember anything from that time. But in terms of how much German influences English, and does that make it easier or harder to learn? I don't know, because there's a lot of things where I feel like German matches not only today's English in terms of some weird word choices that I think we wouldn't otherwise use potentially, but I think that like in some weird ways, like when I read German, it reminds me also of like Old English type of stuff. And I have a hard time expressing why that is. And I really feel like that requires a lot of time to kind of be decisive about and say, okay, yes, this definitely is this way, or it definitely isn't that way. And then in terms of does it help or hurt, I don't know. I think it helps. I think it helps that, of course, it uses like the same, alphabet for the most part. Certain stuff like will and will are super confusing though, and like it's also easy to get confused about wer, which is not where but who, and wo is where, which is very confusing. So some things that are flipped around like are more confusing because of this similarity, but then some things I think are potentially easier, and then could be easier because of the similarity. It's hard for me to say though. I think it really needs a lot of time and studying, and then to the exact learner it may be different. Like if you're someone who's less well read, or your English isn't that great, it might be tougher in terms of the influence. But I can't speak really for anyone but me. I'd say that I think for me, I think overall I don't know. It could be helpful. I can't. It's not something I've really put a lot of thought into. I need more thought about it. There are a lot of trees in this neighborhood, though. Es gibt viele Bäume. I almost said Blume, which is flowers. Viele Blumen. No, viele Bäume. Es gibt viele Bäume in the neighborhood. In dem Stadtviertel? Yeah, it is dem. Es gibt viele Bäume in dem Stadtviertel. There are a lot of trees in this neighborhood.
Die Bank und die Post sind im Stadtzentrum.
The bank and the post office are in the city center. Bank and the post office are in the city center. Die Bank und die Post sind im Stadtzentrum. Yes, there's a post office and a school nearby. Yeah.
Ja.
Es gibt
in
es gibt eine Is it ein Post or eine Post? Eine Post. Eine Post.
Post
und
eine Schule in der Nähe.
Ja, es gibt eine Post und eine Schule in der Nähe. Yes, there's a post office and a school nearby. These coffee shops are very old. Ooh, let's see if it lets me type. Type the German translation. Diese Cafés sind sehr alt. Oh, wow. Did let me type. That's good. Well, that is probably going to do it for today's learning German. That's day... What day is it? It's day... I think it's day 769. It is. Nice. That's going to do it for today, 769. I'm in 3rd place. This is the Sunday Leaderboard Crunch. I'm real close to 2nd place, but I'm sure I'll be kicked out of the top 3 next time we tune in. That'll be tomorrow night at around 11 p.m. Yeah. I'm kind of glad to try doing Duolingo inside BlueStacks just to see what the mobile version is like. I don't know if I'll stick with it because I'm typing less, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm sure there's other advantages, like in terms of how well I perform on the leaderboard, but also in terms of me being able to do certain things like some of these regular lessons. I think I might get more XP for. So we'll see. See how it goes this week. Thank you for tuning in. Hope you have a good one. Bye.